You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Thursday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
I don't mean to brag, but I had the greatest thing in my entire life happen to me yesterday.
Wow, that is a bold statement.
I went golfing by myself, and there were these guys ahead of me, and they were kind of like putzing around. They were all over the course, and when I finished the hole, they were like waiting there. I'm like, oh no. They're like, dude, you can play on through. Like, you're going a lot faster than us. We're moving slow, which is every golfer's nightmare, right?
Right. Well, because, yeah, it's nice that they let you go because, again, now you won't have to wait for them every
Yeah, but now
hole.
I got to do it in front of them. Like,
now you got to drive while
nightmare stuff.
4 strangers are sitting there.
So I get up to the tee box. I'm like, all right, you're playing all right today. Like, you got this. Dude, I swear to God, hit the greatest drive I've ever hit in my entire life. Like, I pipe this thing. I turn around, and the one guy goes, holy crap, man. He's like, what kind of clubs are those?
Oh.
And I was like, it's just these Callaways I got from Costco, blah, blah. And he's like, can I have a look at them? He's looking at my clubs. He's like, man, these are wicked, dude. What a swing you got. How long have you been playing golf for? And I was like,
damn.
Like 2-3 years now or whatever. Get out of here, dude. 2-3 years with a swing like that? And I was like, I'd never felt so good at golf in my entire life. And then I go and shoot a 7 on the hole. But nonetheless,
No, they're not paying attention to that part.
that guy pumped my tires up so good. I genuinely had I felt like a little kid. I was giddy getting in the cart, driving to my ball. I was like, oh my God.
I almost feel like you got to leave that guy a tip. Like, that is professional tire pumping
I
there.
have never felt that good in my entire life golfing. And mind you, I butchered that hole afterwards, but
That's not the part that you're going to remember, though. Like,
well, they didn't see any of that.
That's just it. A week from now, you're going to remember the guy who asked you, what kind of clubs are those? Which is a question that, just being asked that feels good.
Well, it was being asked that, and then he's like, how long you been playing golf for? Or whatever.
Yeah,
Looking at me like
yeah.
I was some sort of pro, and I was like, oh, brother, stop.
Oh, stop.
Stop it.
Just buttering
It's almost the
you up.
equivalent of that must be what it feels like when you're super jacked and someone's like, you must work out, eh?
Yeah. How often you work it out? Or what supplements are you taking? Or how much can you bench? Your arms puff out a little bit. You're like, oh, thank you for noticing that I am on the larger side of
I don't know if
muscular."
that guy was just a fan of the show trying to be nice or something, but dude, it made my freaking day.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Yesterday we talked about Nick Tarnaski, also known as the Bang Guy now.
Bang! Come on, man. Bang!
And we have a little update on his situation now. He beat the Pope out of that dude, and everyone was curious on what was going to happen. Apparently, he is a minor hockey coach in Red Deer, and the organization that he works with claims they are looking into the matter. They released a statement saying, we understand the matter is being reviewed by local policing authorities. We are conducting our own internal investigation into the alleged incident. We will have no further comments, which basically means they don't really care that much.
That's the thing. Is I saw the Toronto Star trying to make this big deal, oh my God, he's under investigation, but the police are like, there's no criminal charges. We're not looking into it. The minor hockey people are like, we're not talking about it.
This is the real quote from the RCMP. Actually, it says it was essentially a report of a fight and an intoxicated individual. Nobody came forward to us alleging an assault or anything like that, and our investigated was concluded, which I will say, I got to give a round of applause to the guy that got his ass kicked. I would not be going to the cops either. I wouldn't want any more attention on me than I already have.
That's just it. It's already going to be bad enough for this dude that his face is on the video of him being drunk, starting a fight, and getting dummied in the fight.
Well, you got to imagine he went to work yesterday or even this morning, and as soon as he walked in, everybody was like,
Bang! Bang! Come on, man. Bang!
The best thing that can happen for this guy is for this to get its 15 minutes and immediately disappear.
because unless you know the guy personally, as soon as his name gets leaked out, that's where you're screwed with the internet.
Oh, once the internet gets a hold of it, it's already bad enough that now we know that he lives or works or at least, lives somewhere in the vicinity of Red Deer. We've narrowed it down.
Yeah.
If his name comes out, where he works comes out, he's going to get roasted for his behavior.
Oh my God, this guy's gonna go to the bar. Everyone's gonna be like,
Come on, man.
He's not going to be able to hear the word bang.
I'm not
ever
even
again.
gonna lie. If I was friends with the dude, I would be dropping bangs at him all the time.
Absolutely. And listen, the thing is, too, is he can't really get mad about it. Like, this is very much
It's on him.
You made your bed. Now you have to lie in its situation. He started a fight with an NHL enforcer and got banged.
I would love to play golf behind him. If you recognize that guy and you saw him in that stupid ass shirt.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got this message on the bad line that really got me thinking.
Hey guys, how you doing? I just wanted to see if I could get everybody to do the right thing. And instead of calling them butterflies, call them flutterbys, man. I've seen butterfly. It just goes and sticks. It seems flutterby. Come on, everybody. Get into it. Call them flutterbys. All right. Have a good day. Bye.
This seems like a thought that came under the influence, but he does have a point.
That's just it. I mean, just because someone's a little bit out there doesn't mean that they're not also kind of spot on in that it's not that the name butterfly is necessarily bad, but flutterby is right there, and it does feel pretty accurate.
Also, he's right. The animal has not one resemblance to butter at all.
No, it does fly, but I'm not sure where the butter thing comes from.
I do think there's a lot of animals that don't really match their name. I mean, like the porcupine, if you want to think about it, not made of pork at all.
Right. Yeah.
And-
Doesn't even smell like pine.
Yeah, exactly. No pine included either. On top of that, the wombat, that guy can't fly.
That's right. Yeah. Wombat is one of those ones. A mountain chicken is always my favorite.
Isn't that a frog?
It's a frog from the Caribbean. So neither mountain nor chicken. Who came up with that?
Even mountain lion. It's not a lion.
That's right.
It's a cat.
Mountain goat, I read recently, is also not a proper goat. They just were like, it looks like a goat.
Rocky Mountain prairie oysters. You don't find those in the mountains. Like, I don't know who came up with some of these names.
Very different. Yeah.
I think the biggest one that pisses me off is Komodo dragon.
It honestly does feel like it should be more than it is.
As a child, I got so excited when I first heard about Komodo. I was like, dragons are real?
Yeah.
No way. Things don't even have wings.
It's just a big lizard.
They don't breathe fire. Yeah.
And to its credit, it is a big lizard. Like a Komodo dragon is an impressive animal on its own, but it is a victim of bad branding because as big and cool as a Komodo dragon can be, it's not a dragon.
No. It's the same thing with the fisher cat, man. They're not fish.
That's right.
They're barely a cat. More like a devil weasel, if anything.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
What animals do not match their name? We've got friend of the show, Sean, on the phone. Sean, what would you say? What animal would you say doesn't match its name?
The cuttlefish. If you've ever seen that thing, it is this creepy little squid thing that, runs around the bottom of the ocean there. And
Something you most definitely wouldn't want to cuddle.
absolutely not.
Someone found the cuttlefish in the cave and thought it was cute and then swam up to the surface and went, oh, no.
Someone was scuba diving and was drunk when they named that fish.
When Guar bases an entire video and character after an animal, then it's just not a natural creature.
You're not wrong on that one.
I saw another text that came in while we're talking by the water. Who the hell named sea lions? Lions already existed before we named sea lions.
Yeah.
Who looked at that animal and went, well, these two are pretty much the same.
How majestic. We got someone else on the line. What do you think?
I'd say mongoose. As being a Canadian, I don't think mongoose is no way a killing machine.
It doesn't look like a goose.
It's not a goose at all, actually, yeah. It's also not Jamaican either.
Just a little Rasta goose running around.
Instead of hissing at you, it's like, hey, man.
It's blowing smoke.
Bumbaclaw. The mongoose is the funniest idea.
Ironically, the mongoose is something you would think of when you were on the jazz cabbage.
Oh, we had Ashley say this.
A vampire bat. They will not turn you into a vampire. I don't know if you know this, but they will not. And I think that's false advertising.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Apparently, Canada is ruining America's summer, at least according to a letter from Congress members of Minnesota and Wisconsin, stating that the wildfires that are going on in our country are ruining their summer. This is a real quote from the letter itself. It says, "We write you today on behalf of our constituents who have had to deal with suffocating Canadian wildfire smoke filling the air to begin the summer. In our neck of the woods, summer months are the best time of the year to spend time outdoors, recreating, enjoying time with family, and creating new memories. But this wildfire smoke makes it difficult to do all those things."
Buddy, if you think the wildfires suck on your side of the border, wait till you hear how they're affecting the people on our side.
I just love how instead of offering to help, they sent us like an HOA letter.
This is like having a nosy neighbor that's just like, you were outside on your back porch barbecuing and the smell ruined my night.
Meanwhile, remember those California fires where we sent all those Canadian firefighters out there?
Well, and the other thing is, like, what do you expect us to do? You know, like, yeah, when the smoke from the wildfires spreads, first of all, it's also spreading all across Canada.
Do you think anybody here is like, love this wildfires right now?
But even if we were to say, like, okay, well, we should contain this should just remain our problem. Are you expecting Canadians to line up at the border and start blowing it back? Like, what are we supposed to do about it?
Maybe what America should do is get ICE to deport the smoke back to where it came from. That's what they can do.
They've got their border wall down along Mexico. What are we going to build a bunch of turbines on the Canadian border to keep the smoke from crossing?
What's next? Are they going to stick a tariff on that too?
Donald Trump at the border.
We should have just thrown that letter in the fire.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You know, when you go to the airport, it can be very stressful, but the Heathrow Airport is doing something very new. I mean, most airports, they don't play music because it can be such a distraction. It can be a little overwhelming. They actually commissioned an artist to make what they call a mood-matching sound mix that is now going to be looped through the airport's terminal this summer. Here's what it sounds like. They say that it is a mix of sounds from the airport and is designed to help kickstart passenger holidays by reflecting, quote, excitement and anticipation.
And it's like, it's interesting because a lot of times when you're at airports, especially busy ones, I've never been to Heathrow, obviously, but I assume it's a lot of like loud chatter, and it's almost like the sounds can almost be overwhelming.
But also, this sound would drive me crazy. It makes me feel like I'm on hold with the CRA or something.
Yeah, imagine you're on the moving escalator there. You're traveling towards your gate, and you just keep hearing this on a loop over and over and over again.
Imagine your flight gets delayed.
And you're still just sitting there.
Listening to this.
And the only thing that interrupts this is the person coming on the little gate microphone to be like, hi, everybody. Just want to let you know, we're still waiting.
I think if they're going to play music at airports, they need to play music that's going to level people out because stress levels are through the roof when people go to airports. I think just a little Bob Marley. Zen some people out a little bit, you know.
Just give them that place of calm that they can live in for a bit.
Either that, or honestly, I think some people need to be reminded just to breathe.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We realize there's probably a lot more music that you shouldn't play at airports.
Right, most things that you could put on the soundtrack at an airport would likely fade into the background, but there are certain songs that will inspire people in a bad way.
I mean, that one that we just played, I also think no Buddy Holly, no Leonard Skinner as well.
Yeah, anything that's plane crash. I mean, even John Denver, to some extent, would probably put the wrong thought in people's minds.
AC/DC's a tough one, too. A few people texted in Shot Down in Flames, TNT, Highway to Hell, Hell's Bells.
Even getting on some, like, The Doors. Like, it's not an intense song, but if I heard This Is the End while I was at the airport, I would be hard-pressed to get on the plane.
And then there's a few songs that are very boom-heavy. sure that's the last thing you want to hear before you get on a plane.
I think boom or anything bomb, like if you ended up with a little bit of rancid on the plane.
Black coat, white shoes, black hat, Cadillac, yeah. The boys are time bomb.
You see a guy wearing all of that stuff?
You're probably going to tackle him before he gets to the gate, you know?
A few people suggested Fall Out Boy.
Or, and hear me out, what if we don't go down at all at the airport, huh? How about that?
Nickelback's Burn It to the Ground.
Dude, it's one of my favorite songs of all time. Imagine you're about to get on a plane and fly thousands of feet over the planet, and you start hearing...
It's the final
Oh my God. Now boarding flight A321.
I'd like to speak to the pilot, please.
That's some Final Destination stuff right there.
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
Apparently, it was the shortest day ever recorded in history.
How so?
The Earth was spinning faster than usual. Scientists claim that the planet rotated 1.3 to 1.5 milliseconds faster than the standard 24 hours.
That's why everything felt so weird.
So if you feel like you didn't have enough time to do something yesterday, that's why. Maybe the missus was like, I asked you to go and clean out the garage. I asked you to go and cut the grass. You literally didn't have enough time in the day.
Your boss is on your ass. You're like, why? Like, I was going to do it. Why are you harassing me? Well, because you missed 1.3 to 1.6 milliseconds.
And if you're looking for an excuse on why you didn't get anything done, apparently this is supposed to happen on July 22nd and August 5th as well. So jot that down.
Plan in advance.
Yeah.
This is the Brock and Dobby Podcast.
down the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk to me.
All right, we are looking for some dirty talking barbecues this morning for $100 and Lotto 649 tickets for Saturday's jackpot here.
$20 million gold ball jackpot, guaranteed $1 million prize, plus it's a super draw, 25 guaranteed prizes of $20,000.
All right, if you are not one of our dirty barbecues, that does mean you are a judge, so 762-555. Let us know who should be the winner, but we'll just start on line one here. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Corbin.
Corbin, are you ready to play?
I think so.
All right, we need you to be a dirty barbecue. I will count you in from 3 to 1, and then the timer starts. 3, 2, 1. Take it away, Corbin.
Oh, baby. I'm the grill and you're the meat. Come lay on me hot and juicy. Let me sizzle for you.
Oh, it's great.
That's good. As you can hear, the timer was still going. You made it about halfway through. Could hurt you in the final score, but it was a great start.
Well done, Corbin. Stay on hold, all right, buddy?
Okay.
All right, we go to line 2 here. Hey, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Justin.
Justin, are you ready to be a dirty talking barbecue for?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll count you in from 3 to 1, buddy. 3, 2, 1. Take it away.
That's it, Daddy. Grill me up softly. Turn that heat up real high. Make that meat sizzle, you sexy piece of meat.
The difference in voice between you answering the phone and you starting the competition is crazy.
That barbecue's hot. All right, good job, man. Stay on hold here. All right, good competition this morning.
God.
We go to line 3. Caller number 3, what's your name?
Mark.
Mark, are you ready to play?
Oh, yeah, I'm here to redeem myself.
Okay. What do you think of the competition so far?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Gonna be a challenge.
All right, we'll count you in here. 3, 2, 1. Take it away, buddy.
Hello, baby. So nice to see you again, my friend. I'm gonna first warm you up with the propane, and then I'm gonna spread oil across your grill.
Okay.
All right. Again, the accent is
leaning
a choice.
heavy into the sexy French accent again, eh? All right, stay on hold here. Let's weigh out the options. Line 1, line 2, pretty much is what we're at here.
I would say so. Yeah. The French accent doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You don't think of a lot of French barbecue.
Just reminds me of the skunk from Looney Tunes.
Honestly. And then with Corbin was great on line 1. Like, it was good to start, but we've said we kind of have expectations about lasting a certain amount of time.
Text line seems to agree that it is line 2. All right, let's give it to him.
Oh, my God.
Oh, the boys are fired up. Love to hear it. Ding and a round of applause because you are the winner of... Congratulations, my man. If you do happen to win the big jackpot on Saturday, got some nickels and dimes for the fellas, or at least throw us a barbecue?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Text us. Text us. 762-555. Send a text. Yeah. Text us. 762-555. Ask us all your questions. Text.
I know it's a parody version, but man, that song really did not have great lyrics.
You take that back. Yeah, let's get it going. 762-555. First question in here says, who would win in a wrestling match? Dalby tag teamed up with Rey Mysterio or Brock and The Rock?
I mean, much like Rey Mysterio, I also have incredibly bad knees, so I feel like you and The Rock would probably be pretty well off.
I think you guys would smell what we're cooking.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you and I were to get in the ring, weight classes exist for a reason. I think my odds are pretty good.
I think I just run around and tire you out, though. Sweep you from the knees a little bit.
Well, listen, if you're just running around, I just tag in Rey Mysterio. He's got to be faster than you.
Yeah.
But if The Rock comes in, I think all three of us couldn't take him.
Yeah.
So, all the fish and steroids, we're probably screwed.
Yeah, no, we'd kick your ass for sure. Someone said, what's the best kind of ice?
It's not Smirnoff, I'll tell you that right now.
Whoa, dude. Nothing wrong with a Smirnoff ice. You take that back.
Oh, that's the best ice? There's no better ice than a Smirnoff
Well, I mean, if
ice?
we're talking about like physical ice, crushed ice, but Smirnoff ices are a sweet treat.
I like the little circle ice that you get in like sodas sometimes. You know, the little tiny orbs?
Oh, like the Polar Pop ice.
Yeah. Or, and I've never had one myself, but I've always loved the idea of the one big giant ice cube that you see in like whiskey glasses.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know if it makes the drink any better, but it feels really classy.
Someone said, what is your average golf score when you play?
Oh, it's easily triple digits. I don't know what it is. It's been a while since I've been out.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I like golfing, and because I took like lessons and stuff when I was a kid, there are still like glimmers of my body remembering how to do it. But I'm also so incredibly out of shape that when I get out there, I usually a train wreck.
I've broken 100 3 times this year, which is a
proud of
huge
you.
accomplishment for me. But I'd say I'm like a 104, 105, 106 on average kind of guy.
And if you're 104 to 106, I'm probably 120 to 125.
Yeah.
I would say that's probably how much worse I am than you
But
are.
it's not about the score. It's about how many drinks you can have.
That's
all
right. That's the real average people are looking for.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
Let's see what he's got.
Good morning. Yeah, today's word is crump. Yep, crump. C-R-U-M-P, crump. And it's to make loud, to crunch loudly, or to explode heavily. Well, I know if someone's crunching heavily in my ear, I'm ready to explode heavily. That's not cool. But anyways, that just about does it.
He's right.
Have a great one. Cheers.
My favorite cereal growing up was Cinnamon Toast Crump.
I was more of a Captain Crump kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a crunching sound if you use it as a noun, or it can be to actually crunch. Like when I stand up at the end of the show, my knees crump quite loudly.
I also think maybe it was just because my sister did dance. Like crumping was like a dance in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, maybe that's like the second definition as a verb.
It was a very explosive dance.
Yeah, exploding heavily. Not that I could ever do it if my life depended on it, but I feel like crumping was a lot of like flailing kind of
Yeah. You know
movements.
when you're like rushing to go to the bathroom, like when you feel a number 2 coming on?
Yeah.
You're pre-crumping before you crump, you know?
And then when you finally sit, you crump quite heavily.
Crump. use it wherever you can, all right?
Want to be a part of the podcast?
Leave a message on the Bad Line.
The Bad Line is the answering machine for the Brock and Dalby Show.
To get the number, text the word BAD to 762-555.
Thanks for listening to the Brock and Dalby podcast.